Happy Friday, everyone. Pastor Ben here. It is beautiful outside, and I hope you're enjoying this day. And even better news, Sunday's coming, and I'm excited for our time together this coming Sunday as God continues to meet with us and challenge us and encourage us to walk deeper and closer with Him. And I pray that you've been doing just that. This is hard work. And as we do this hard work, God is faithful to meet us in those places, and He's faithful to continue to challenge us and draw us closer to Him. So, in this Lenten season, this season of sacrifice, of laying things down, of denying ourselves, this is one of these things that continues to draw us closer to Him when we make these efforts on our own. He's faithful to meet us in those places. So I hope that you're taking advantage of this opportunity and these times together. And coming into this Sunday, just want to share a couple of things of where we're going and what we'll be doing. But do want to remind you that this Sunday is the first Sunday of the month, which is our Family Sunday. So that means a couple of things. We will have potluck following service. I'd encourage you, if you have not or are on the fence, please make plans. This is a great time to be together. It's a great time of fellowship. Um, Everybody's got to eat. You're probably going to eat anyway after service, so you might as well eat with the rest of us because it'll be a good time. And I'd sure love to see you. So please make plans to attend. That would be fantastic. Also, during our time together, we will highlight some things going on with our kids and just want to just highlight some of those things that we do together and kind of focus on families and that type of thing. So want you to be aware of that. Also, this will be Communion Sunday, and just want you to be aware of that as well. So we will be in our third week of our Lenten series, Abide With Us. This is a series, again, of discovering how it is that God meets with us in these places when we make these efforts to deny ourselves, when we make these efforts to lay down things in our life, being made more and more aware of things that pull us away from Him so that we can lay those things down and allow Him to draw us closer to Him. And so this is another one of those weeks. We've talked about forgiveness a couple of weeks ago. Last week we talked about this sacrifice of worship, and we talked about really kind of this surrender of ourselves, surrender of all of these things in our life, and truly surrendering, making a sacrifice of worship, sacrifice of ourselves, sacrifice of attentions, all of those things, in an effort to for God to meet with us in just an incredibly deep way. And so this week, we're going to continue with looking at some practices and some things that we can do that really set our hearts in the right place as we continue to seek God. This week, we're going to be looking at Jesus as the Good Shepherd. This illustration, or this imagery, is probably a better word for that, of the Messiah, of God as the shepherd, is all throughout Scripture. It's all throughout the Old Testament. It's Jesus refers to Himself as the shepherd through the literature of the Old Testament. It's prophetic that the Messiah would come as the shepherd. I love this passage out of Ezekiel 34. That whole chapter of Ezekiel 34 is about God coming to be this shepherd of the sheep, because the shepherds that were in place, the religious leaders, those that were in charge of trying to lead God's people, were not doing it in a way that pleased and honored God. And so it upset Him such that He kind of speaks this harsh word against the shepherds of the day. and promises this Messiah that will come and will tend to his sheep, that will search for the lost, that will bring back the strays, that will bind up the injured and strengthen the weak. Um, he will shepherd the flock with justice, it says. And so Jesus, this Messiah that's promised and prophesied, comes and speaks of himself in this way. And we're going to be looking at John chapter 10. And John chapter 10 it follows chapter 9, where Jesus heals this man that was born blind. And the religious leaders are all upset about this because Jesus does this on the Sabbath. And so they're confronting him on this. And Jesus is calling out their spiritual blindness here at the end of chapter 9. Um, and he's upset that they're just missing this, right? That their hearts are not in the right place. And then Jesus continues speaking about himself, that he is the one that is this good shepherd. In verse 7, he says, "I tell you the truth, I'm the gate for the sheep." He's trying to get them to see that it's through him that salvation is found. It's through him that security, that safety is there. He's this good shepherd, the one that will lay down his life for the sheep. His heart is for the people, right? And so those that have set their hearts against the people, those that are doing things for their own gain, are doing things for their own notoriety, that are doing things for their own agendas, whatever it is, Jesus has come and says that he is laying down his life, that he is the one that is this good shepherd, that in him is salvation, in him is security, in him is safety, in him is love, in him is all of these things that the people are desperate for. And so Jesus's heart is revealed here. The heart actually of the Father through Jesus is revealed here. So I love this passage. I love where it goes. I love how Jesus is conveying himself in this way. And so where we find ourselves in this is identifying our need for the good shepherd, right? We understand that it's in him and through him salvation is found. It's in him and through him that there is security, there is peace, there is love, there's acceptance. And Jesus does all of these things, it says, on his own authority. He is the one who lays down his life, and the one that takes it up again. And he's referring to trying to kind of hint at what's coming for them, that he will be the one that will lay down his life. He will physically does this, his death on the cross, and takes it up again at the resurrection. He's foretelling all of these things that will happen. And so this good shepherd, this one that loves them more than they could possibly know or understand, and he's trying to get them to see this. So there's all of this imagery, all of these things here that Jesus is trying to communicate to the religious leaders, and he's trying to also hint at too that it's not just for the Jews, right? He says that he's sheep of another pen, and that's the Gentiles. That's you. That's me. That's everybody. And so this message is not just for a select group, and how the Jews believe that the Messiah was to come just for them, but the Messiah was coming to reconcile all of creation back to him, reconcile mankind, reconcile you and me back to the Father. And Jesus says, I am the gate. It's through me that all of this happens and takes place. So in this Lenten season, what does this mean for us? Is there things that we pursue instead of Jesus? Is there things that draw us away from this good shepherd? Do we try and look for and find security in other places and in other things? Is there other relationships? All of these things play a role in how we interact with Jesus. Do we truly see him as the good shepherd? Do we struggle with this idea and this fact that it's only through him salvation is found? It's only through him that we can have eternal security. It's only through him that we find true peace. the world around us struggles with this. They struggle with these words that say of Jesus that says that I am the way, the truth, and the life. It's only through me. So the religious leaders struggled with that. Our world, the place that we interact with people around us, struggle with that. And I think too, in other ways, we struggle with that as well. We don't always trust that Jesus is who he says he is. We don't always trust him as this good shepherd. Um, Good shepherd is the one that loves and protects, and he's the one that provides. He's the one that we find everything that we need. And too often, I think we find ourselves looking for what we think we need in other places, in other things, and in other ways. So, how I'm challenged and kind of this direction we'll be going on Sunday is looking to Jesus and trusting him as this good shepherd and everything that's wrapped up in that. What does it mean that when Jesus says this, I am this good shepherd? And do I really trust him? Is he really enough? Is that what I need? So, that's where we'll be this Sunday. I encourage you, read John chapter 9, just to kind of give you a little bit of context going into John chapter 10. I would encourage you to also look at Ezekiel chapter 34 and read that one as well. This prophecy of this promised Messiah, Jesus coming, and how God's heart was this desire to be this good shepherd for his people. So I just challenge you with those things. Encourage you to read those sections of Scripture, pray through those, allow God to speak to you. And I'm excited for our time together as we gather this Sunday. Spanish Church is at 9 a.m. Sunday school, if you haven't attended or thinking about coming, I'd encourage you to check that out as well. That begins at 9:45, English service at 10:45, and then please make plans to attend our family potluck afterwards. We would just sure love to spend time with you as well, and that will follow right after service. God bless you. Enjoy this beautiful day, and we will see you on Sunday. God bless.